About to go see this Supergirl movie. There is a lot of bad press about this movie. I don't know what I'm getting into. This is my face before the movie, and I'll let you know how I feel after. This is going to be my Supergirl review. What did I think of the Woman of Tomorrow movie? I think I've had a lot of comments about Superman, especially James Gunn's take on Superman, but we're going to focus on just Supergirl in this video. And just kind of talk about like my headspace when I went to go see the film, because honestly, when I went online, all I saw was just bad review after bad review. The reviews were tearing this movie apart. So I had to go in, form my own opinion, and see if it was different from other content creators, and see if I walked away with any different opinions from the ones that I saw online. And to be honest with you, I think I did. I think some critics were right about some of the critiques, and then some were wrong. I think some were like a little too harsh. I think if you love the book, you're gonna have some valid complaints about the movie, because it's not a one-on-one adaptation. Let's just go ahead and start off with the things that I liked about the film. I think Millie is a great Supergirl. I think she played the part very well. Her acting on Krypton really had me sunken in. I was ready to just watch this Krypton novella that they had going on, just exploring Kara's life and showing her dad and basically why she got crypto. I definitely enjoy that. I'm a Superman nerd, so anything that has to do with Superman's lore, I'm down. I love being on Krypton for a bit, honestly. I'm always excited to see someone's take on Krypton, although I will say it did have a Guardians vibe to it, and personally, it just wasn't for me. Not that it was bad, it just didn't bring anything new to the table. Felt like the same sort of space scenes we've seen over and over again. I mean, if you look at the panels of this book, it's like they didn't even try. Now, I know that comparison is the thief of joy, so books and movie adaptations have been at war since the beginning of time. I'm not going to waste your time with that. Let's just talk about what we got. It's very much Guardians, just with darker lighting. Didn't mind the lighting. I know a lot of people were complaining about that in some of the reviews I was watching, but I didn't think the lighting was the biggest issue here. There were certain scenes that I really did enjoy, where Kara was out in space. She was at a bar, but the bar had like red lights and blue lights on her, so I felt like it was like a foreshadowing of her running away from her becoming Supergirl, but I feel like the signs were all there from the beginning of the film. I love that Millie felt like she just didn't really fit in, and she had a lot of emotional moments that really got to me. I really think she won me over as Supergirl. Other things I like. I wanted to hate Jason Momoa as Lobo due to the fact that I loved him as Aquaman. Damn, he was perfect as it, man. It just, you can't complain about it. It was good. It was good. When he came out as Lobo and started just talking, the cigar got lit. You know, sign me up. Felt like animated series Lobo again, and it was cool. I loved it. I think Lobo just felt a little random for the story because it's just not in the book, but I mean, hey, you know, for the movie, did it work? I don't know, because Lobo just is there, and that's the thing about Lobo. The action scenes were cool with him. That's the one thing that I will say. That Millie even does some scenes that remind me of Man of Steel, where she just, you know, it's just cool. She does a lot of cool things in this film. With that being said, it feels like a short list of things that we liked in the film. Now let's get into things that we didn't like, and I'm gonna go vague on the film in case you haven't seen it, because I do want everyone to go see it. There are things in this film that bother me, and I'm going to talk about it vaguely in this part of the video, and then I'm going to have a spoiler part where I can go a little bit more in depth on why I was upset with certain things. I feel like a lot of the complaints of people were that the first half of the movie was slow, and granted, I get that, but I think there was a lot of character building that you needed to get to before we got to the act. My complaint is specifically just the resolution of this film. I think it's just garbage, point blank. I think it misrepresents what this book is trying, and I know we're not trying to do an adaptation, but let's just keep it in the tone of whatever the storytelling for the movie was going to present. I think it failed miserably on delivering the message of the movie, and even hearing certain reports about it, which I'll get into later, it just shows that like this movie was just kind of a mess to begin with. Another thing I just didn't like about the film is the supporting character not feeling like, you know, not feeling like a character that you can get along with or a character that you want to try to help. She just felt really annoying throughout the film, and that sucks because the supporting character in the book just feels, you know, all right, we got a revenge storyline, let's go into it, kind of side with her because the dude's kind of a dick. You want to feel for her, but it's just, I feel like honestly this is gonna segue into the next part of the film. The villain just was bland. Krem in the story didn't have all these powers and stuff. He just got away with the skin of his teeth, and having him just be this person that was just a bad person just to be bad, you know, like I don't get it. I don't get it. His motivations didn't feel real. It felt forced. It felt like we were just handed things to forcefully hate this guy, and it just didn't give him any sort of dimension as a character. He just felt like, I'm bad guy, you know, like cartoonishly evil, which I'll get more in detail about how I feel Krem should be, but like I felt like that was one of the things that fell short about this film. I feel like it just had a lot of good stuff and a lot of bad stuff. I think at this point, let me go ahead and review the movie, and I can get into the spoiler part so I can talk to some people about what I really was upset about. But honestly, I give this movie a 6 out of 10. It's not the best. It's not going to be something that you want to go out of your way to go see. I feel like if you want to watch it on streaming, you should, but you should definitely go see it. Honestly, I don't think it's a terrible movie. I don't think it's Morbius bad. That's like crazy. Definitely lacks the to be a great movie, which is upsetting, but I do think we got things that you can take away from this film that you can like. Maybe I'm wrong, you know, you can let me know in the comment section. I'm down to talk to y'all, you know what I'm saying? Finally, in this era of not yucking on someone's yum, or basically giving these people chances, not like people gave us in the Snyderverse, you know, like they did not give people in the Snyderverse any sort of love, to be honest with you. So here I am watching films that I may not really like or whatever, and coming away with my opinion on it, not tearing it apart. Let's go ahead and get into the spoiler section. If you're in this part of the video, you are accepting a virtual handshake that you're okay with me spoiling this movie for you. You may have watched it already, or you just don't want to watch it and you just want to hear the spoilers so you can like see if I need to go see this film. You know, that's perfectly fine. But at this point, if you want to hop off, you got your chance now. Everybody gone? All right. So, spoiler section. Things I didn't like about the film. Now let me go more in depth about things. Why is kryptonite so readily available? Like, I get we're getting more comic booky, but now it's getting wild. We just had year 1 of Superman, and kryptonite wasn't even on Earth, but like, goodness, I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy, but I just felt like it was weak as hell to have Millie just knock the hell out for half the movie, and then it's a universe that not only has a green sun, but also a yellow sun. Yeah, give me a break, bro. Come on. All right, moving on to the next thing that I was upset with. I think, honestly, another big thing that I talked about in the film that made me disappointed was the final resolution of the film. I'm just gonna say it flat out. Supergirl killing Krem, it shouldn't be the way the film ends. I'm so sorry. Like, that was definitely the wrong choice. Like, it had to be. Like, it's like you didn't even read the book. And I mean, like, I get it. We're not trying to adapt one-on-one and take liberties and stuff, but that's something you probably should have like one for one did, you know? And I think at this point, you know, maybe we have to look at anime and manga as an example of why those one-on-one adaptations do so well, because if you look at the manga and you look at the anime, you're getting the reference straight through, and those people are watching that. So like, if we can do a little bit better about maybe adapting these things, we might maybe reach the fans that are going for this, because if you look at comic book sales right now, they're going to the comic books right now. DC Comics has been bigger than it's ever been in the comic book world, and they're wanting dark Batman, dark Superman, and these are things that Zack Snyder brought to the table a long time ago. So guys, maybe he was cooking, and I think now in this era of where we want our movies to be a little bit more comic booky, I think they just want more faithful adaptations, and this one doesn't quite nail the landing, unfortunately. My biggest thing is Millie goes through the entire film trying to discover herself while she's helping this little girl, like willingly or unwillingly, to her destination to get the antidote from her dog to make sure that Crypto doesn't die. And you can just see Kara really just tell this girl that revenge is bad. It won't change things from like a personal spot, like she knows it, which is great. That was awesome. That's what I want to see, that Kara doesn't have clean hands like Clark, you know? Like, I think that's the misconception. They don't. None of the Kryptonians have clean hands. I wanted her to stand on that at the end when Krem was face to face. And I mean, even if you read the comic book, Krem basically mocks the death. Go ahead and kill me, because I'm just gonna go ahead and haunt you. Like, that is just something that it's speaks volumes to what you could have done. You could have made your decently mid movie an amazing film just by standing on 10 toes and doing the right thing, you know, adapting the book. I really gotta give away a lot of points for the film because of that. And you can see people already starting to shift blame on stuff like the needle drop as well. That was something I didn't want to bring up early because the needle drop was horrible. Yes, it was bad. It just took me out of the film, and got Craig out here blaming James for it. Like, it's not a good look. Before I get into the whole DC thing, let me just go ahead and wrap up another thing that I wanted to say I didn't like about the film is Krem. And let's go in detail about Krem. I think the design was bad because when you look at the guy underneath the mask, you're like, wow, that looks like it could be Krem, you know? And then they just did this with it, and I'm so confused on the design choices for this film to make it look so much like Guardians when we could have just done something different, something new. Like I said, I do appreciate the tone being different because, you know, with Superman it was that weird like blue tint that I didn't really like so much. This one had just a more of like darker tint. The reds popped out more, the blues popped out more. Oh, the CGI, some of the CGI was bad, man. I'm not even gonna lie to you. That just kind of came to my mind. Certain scenes in this film, like the CGI was just terrible. But I don't get it. You know, I don't get it. They're big budgeted films. They shouldn't. Movies from like 2010 and 13 should not look better than films now. That's like, these films are gonna age bad. Like, I feel like that's the worst part about it. It's like, if we think these films are good now and they're not just hype, let's see how they age, you know? Because if we come back to the film and look like, damn, that looks kind of bad, are we still gonna love it, you know? I don't know, food for thought. Now I'm just rambling. I gotta get the main focus across. Krem at the end should have been more of a menacing villain. Krem is like someone who is, when he first gets introduced in the book, he's checking if people are loyal to the king, and the reason why he kills this girl's parents is because he got told off so bad, and so he was like a dickhead. He basically got the people that said, hey, don't talk bad about the king, and he didn't like how they talked to him, so he killed them. That feels more dicky than just what happens, like throwing an axe at a kid that just jumped out of nowhere. Like, I just laughed so loud in the theater, and I felt so bad because I know that was like not the scene to laugh at, but it just happened so funny because it just didn't, none of it, the whole scene just kind of like lost its luster for me when they did all that, and then he just walks out, and I don't know, man. I think Krem was very just, he did not have any like good dialogue moments, nothing that stands out. He just was there just to be a problem. And I mean, yeah, I guess they had the trafficking thing, but it just felt like everything was made for me to forcefully hate the guy, and I didn't care. Like, I really could not care less when the ending came because I knew it was gonna happen. If you're coming from the outside, I guess you knew it was gonna happen regardless, and I think that's bad when you're a Superman, Supergirl fan, because you're supposed to subject the expectation. But our new DCU looks like this, man. It's boneless. It's not looking good, man. I don't know where the hell Batman and Wonder Woman are at. This is insane. I feel like this is just the wildest way to start a DCU, but like I said, we're not going to get into that kind of conversation right now because this is a Supergirl video. The James Gunn video will come soon. But in the meantime, I do believe I stand on the 6 out of 10. It's maybe fall to a 5 out of 10 over time, but I like Millie, that's the thing, so it makes it hard for me to even give this movie like less points when I felt like, to be honest with you, the first half of that film really did have me sunk in. I really was ready for it. And then, oh yeah, Seth Rogen's in this film. If you get to see the film and know which character he's playing, go ahead and put a picture of him down below. But like, yeah, it was random. It was just random as hell. Some of the comedic timing was kind of off, but I don't know, it wasn't too bad. It's weird that now comedy is now superhero films, and it's just, I don't know, I have a bigger spiel about that, but yeah, let's go ahead and wrap up this video. That was my take on Supergirl. That's how I feel. That's all the things that we'll address about Supergirl. Maybe I'll make another video about it. Maybe not. Depends on what you guys think. I appreciate you guys a lot for watching this video, and thank you, Robert. You're my biggest fan. Peace out, y'all. Sorry, something else just came to my mind, and this is just Editor Geo talking. Kara knew Kryptonian. Why didn't she tell Clark what the message said, or there was more to the message in English, or translate it for him?